The city is watching a giant hold its breath. On paper, the Spotify Camp Nou is supposed to be reborn, a renovated cathedral of football that promises phased returns of tens of thousands of supporters. In practice, the club is fighting bureaucracy, inspections, and a critical document they still don't have: the first occupancy certificate that would legally allow fans back inside. That absence transforms engineers' schedules and safety checks into a cliff edge. Every delayed signature, every inspection appointment nudges fixtures into limbo and forces club officials to juggle contingency plans under a glare of impatient supporters and shrinking calendars. The first obvious casualty is September 14, the Valencia match, a fixture that was meant to announce Barca's homecoming but now sits on a knife edge, with La Liga already prepared to approve alternative arrangements and the Johan Cruyff Stadium being readied as Plan B. The image of fans queuing for a grand reopening has been replaced by hard negotiations. Will the club accept a smaller makeshift home for one Saturday night, or will it push to make Camp Nou ready in time and risk further bottlenecks? But there is another match that feels even heavier: September 28 against Real Sociedad. What might otherwise be a routine early season fixture has been elevated into a decisive moment. UEFA calendar complicates everything. Paris Saint-Germain are due in Catalonia on October 1, and continental rules and logistical expectations mean Barcelona ideally need to demonstrate they can stage a domestic home match at Camp Nou before that Champions League arrival. If they fail to host Real Sociedad at the renovated ground, UEFA could compel them to nominate a single, consistent alternative for all their European home games, and that domino would likely push La Liga games to follow the same trajectory. Leaving Montjuic or another venue as the club's home base through January, suddenly what began as construction paperwork has become a months-long identity question for a team used to its cathedral's shadow. Behind the headlines are real costs. Matchday revenue, tickets, hospitality, concessions is not abstract accounting when stadium access is limited or moved to a smaller arena. The club loses millions and local businesses lose the weekend surge that comes with a Camp Nou crowd. There is also a psychological toll. Players who have trained visualizing roaring stands must adjust to quieter nights, season ticket holders confront lotteries for limited seats, and the club's global image takes a hit when fixtures are shuffled around. City authorities and construction firms are racing through technical checks, but time is finite. UEFA and competition organisers have set operational deadlines, and the club faces a calendar in which each passing day reduces flexibility. That tension explains why officials treat September as a month of checkpoints, not mere dates on a calendar, but the hinges on which a whole European campaign might swing. For supporters, the story is a mix of frustration and weary acceptance. Some have argued that a temporary move to Montjuic, smaller and less familiar, could preserve the Champions League schedule and give the team a consistent competitive base. Others see it as a parade of compromises that blunt the club's edge. The worst-case scenario would be a season split between venues, a logistical headache for staff, and a fractured home advantage for the squad. The best-case outcome, still within grasp, is a partial reopening of Camp Nou for the crucial September fixtures, permitting the club to keep its European nights at the renovated ground and to salvage both revenue and narrative momentum. Either way, each development in the coming weeks, the issuance of the occupancy certificate, La Liga's final venue approvals, UEFA confirmations, will read like the turning points in a tense match, where a single decision changes the scoreboard for months to come. Watch the calendar closely. September 14th, the Valencia test. September 21, administrative deadlines and UEFA notices. September 28, the Real Sociedad contest that could seal where Barcelona play against PSG on October 1. Those dates are more than fixtures. They are the checkpoints on a countdown that will define not just where Barca plays in the short term, but how the club navigates a season that begins under scaffolding and scrutiny. The stakes are clear: money, prestige, the atmosphere that fuels players and fans alike, all vulnerable to the pace of permits and inspections. In the end, the stadium's rebirth will be measured not only in new seats and gleaming stands, but by whether Barcelona can hold its breath long enough to reopen on its own terms, or whether it will have to wage Europe's campaign from another temporary pulpit.